back to another episode of the Amateur Hour Podcast. I'm Jacob, and Jack is joining me today.
Hey, guys.
And we're talking about the Vancouver Canucks. They've had a great start to the season. Right now, they're third in the Pacific, but one game back in terms of games played of the Edmonton Oilers, and 2 games back of the Flames, who are the only 2 teams ahead of them. So, easily could move into those top 2 spots. But right now, they're in third, and it's a pretty tight division, honestly. Like the Coyotes, the Golden Knights are right in the mix, and honestly, the Ducks aren't too far off. But we're going to talk about if the Vancouver Canucks are the real deal and if they pose real threat towards the Stanley Cup. And Jack, you were one who was adamant about this topic, about discussing it. So you had a little bit of a take that you saw, and why don't you just explain that quickly?
Yeah, so I saw the other day on moneypuck.com, they are second highest odds to win the playoffs, to make the playoffs, and second best odds to make the Stanley Cup final. And although that might seem like crazy to a lot of people, I fully agree with that.
What are the odds that they win it, though, on that?
5.6%.
What, no, what place are they to win it?
What?
Like you said, they have the second best odds to make the Stanley Cup final. What are the chances that they win
Third.
it? They're third?
Just by one, yeah.
Behind who?
Boston and Nashville.
Behind Nashville?
Nashville's good, man.
Yeah, but okay. I don't know if I put them third. Like, especially with, there's a lot of, there's Boston, there's the Capitals. Like, I don't know if I put them that high. Even the Blues, maybe the Predators I can give ahead of them. Right. But, they're pretty high up.
Why not? Tell me why not.
It's a very inexperienced group to me. Like, the real pacemakers of this team, like Elias Petterssons, the Brock Bessers, even Bo Horvat, but as good as Bo Horvat's been for a few years. These guys have never really had that playoff experience. Like, it's really hard to, the playoffs are a different beast. And I don't know if I put them on par with some of the. I'm not discrediting them. I'm saying they're a good team. And you know what? If you ask me, are they the real deal? I say yes, because of how talented, how deep this roster is. But in terms of cup candidacy, I don't see it this year. I think they have some good, veteran ancillary pieces, but I think these younger guys need to, a little bit of time to kind of come into their own. Kind of the Leafs are kind of in this kind of transition stage, and they've been in it for too long, but, when they were playing Washington in the first round of playoffs a few years ago, you saw the real inexperience that they possessed. So I think, maybe not this year, but I really like the team they have. They're definitely at least 3 lines deep in the forward core. I really like this team. Tanner Pearson on the third line. I think Josh Lay was pretty good. I'm pretty sad that the Leafs had to get rid of him, but there's a tremendous forward core here. The defense is pretty good, and the goaltending's been pretty good this year. Thatcher Demko's been really good this year, and Markstrom's been all right. He was tremendous last year. Yeah, Jakob Markstrom. So, you tell me what you think, Jack.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely wrong. If you've actually watched the Canucks this year, they are playing very, very, very well. I mean, all really facets of their team are playing well, working the puck really well, creating so many chances, and they're third in the league in Corsi for percentage, which is a very, very important stat, especially for me.
I like the Corsi stat.
Who sees that every game. It really decides who wins the game in most of these. And when you have that kind of goaltending from Demko right now, obviously, he's not known for that. Maybe he's playing a bit better than he expects, but he's saving a lot of shots maybe he doesn't have the business to, and maybe that's a sign that he's playing really well this year and that he'll keep that up, actually. Saving a lot more goals than you'd expect. But just they're really shutting down all the chances for other teams, and I'm going to say right now, I can see them, I think they will make the conference finals at least this year.
Conference finals?
Yeah.
With what they have, for their division, it's, that's a reasonable division to get far out of, because the Pacific, the Oilers are inexperienced. The Flames won the Pacific last year and lost first round.
Exactly.
Was it 5 games to the Avalanche?
That's why I think that's the exact reason I think they're going to go to the conference finals at least.
I think I can see that just because of the division they're in. I think these divisions are so stupid, by the way, that this will reiterate even further, because this division is pretty easy to get out of, quite honestly.
Yeah, I think that's the exact reason though.
I can see them getting to the conference finals. When they really start to play like that, some forces, then I think they're going to struggle. Like if they have to come against Nashville or St. Louis, like these teams that have been there, they've done it before. Even Colorado of a quality team. I think once they start playing those kind of teams, I think they might struggle. But I think the odds are there just because it's going to be so easy for them. Not so easy, but they have an easier path to get there than some other teams, which is why the likelihood of it is higher than other teams. But
they're also playing really good this year too.
They are playing. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying they're the real deal. I said that already. They're the real deal. I'm not saying they're a bad team. I'm just saying when it comes down to late playoffs, when you need that experience, that leadership, I just don't think they're gonna quite cut it this year. But in the near future,
so how far are you giving them?
I can give them conference finals.
But that's it.
I think that's it for me. Conference finals is it for me. I think that's when the experience will take over, and the inexperience will let them down a little bit.
See, for me this year, I think Vancouver might be my team to win it all because who else in the league is impressing you right now?
Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Boston has got 30 points already. The Boston's very impressive, and they're a playoff team. That is a team that excels in the playoffs.
Right, apart from Boston.
Washington.
No, not Washington.
New York have won like 10 games in a row. The Islanders.
Not Washington for me. Islanders I could see.
What do you mean?
Not Washington.
Washington have an incredible record. They're the best team in the NHL right now. They have the highest amount of points, and they don't even have the most games played. They've only played 17 games. There's a team who's played 19. There's a lot of teams who played 18, and Washington's still the most points in the NHL. How can you not say Washington's a threat?
I just think they're playing a bit better than they are, honestly.
Oh, I don't think. I do not. I don't agree at all. Like, you can't sit and tell me Washington's not a threat to Vancouver if they make the Stanley Cup final.
We check the stats they're getting. They get dominated every game in chances.
They're first in the NHL. They're first in the NHL. Do you not understand this?
Let's look at the shooting. Let's look at the shooting percentage of these players on Washington. Let's look at it.
Sure. Lay it on me.
Hey, give me a sec. All right, you really think Jakob Vrana is going to keep up a 19% shooting percentage? You really think John Carlson's going to keep up 17% shooting percentage? Or TJ Oshie is going to keep up 28%?
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, let's see here. Tom Wilson shooting 19.5%. Or maybe Mikkel Kempe shooting 27.3% shots going in.
It's obvious that these are really
Nick Dowd shooting 29%.
Obviously, these are really skewed stats, but you can't sit and tell me that Washington's not a threat to Vancouver's candidacy if they both make the Stanley Cup final.
They should not be first in the league at all whatsoever with what they're shooting.
You're correct that these stats are a bit skewed, but to say they're going to drop off enough that they're not going to be a threat in the playoffs is a bit ridiculous. Like, they're definitely going to be.
They'll be a threat, but they're not going to win it. They're not going to win it.
You think Vancouver are more likely?
They're shooting almost double. They're just scoring almost double the goals they should be.
You think that Vancouver have a better chance of winning the Stanley Cup than Washington?
Yeah. And
that's where I don't see eye to eye with you. I think there is an element of candidacy because I think they have the opportunity to make the conference finals, but in terms of winning it, I don't see it this year. No, you're right. The stats are really good. I keep saying I like this Vancouver team. You don't get me wrong. I like this Vancouver team. I just said how deep it is and how much quality it is. Like Elias Pettersson and Brock Besser are playing very well right now, and even JT Miller. JT Miller's having himself a bit of a year right now. This could be a potential career year for JT Miller.
I'd say they're the second best. They're the best second line in the league.
That is arguably the best second line in the league. Yeah. I put that on par with the Maple Leafs second line in terms of how good. Like, that's incredible. Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, and JT Miller all on the second line. That's ridiculous, quite frankly. That is unbelievable. Those three lead Vancouver in points with 21, 18, and 17 respectively. That is arguably the best second line in hockey.
Hey, just look at Vancouver's shooting percentage. The only one, JT Miller is the highest at 18%, and apart from that, all of them are super, realistic. It's because of how many chances they're creating. They're just better than their opponents, and that's why they're winning games. And I know you like that on paper, but I'm a big stats guy, and I think it could be Vancouver's year.
Stats only get you so far. In regular season, stats will do it, but when it comes to playoffs, it's a different.
They're gonna trade at the deadline, though. They're gonna trade at the deadline.
Who do you think they're gonna be moving at the deadline? If they're gonna be trading at the deadline?
I don't know. But
don't sit and tell me they're gonna make moves at the deadline. But tell me
I don't know what they're gonna give up, but I don't know.
You're kind of stuck with
first round picks. There you go.
Maybe first round picks. You can move. There's a one-away star. Looking at it right now, probably maybe a Tanner Pearson could go somewhere else. Even
he's a Stanley Cup champion.
You could probably move Tanner Pearson, but maybe that's a guy you want to keep. You're stuck with Louis Eriksson. You can't move him. Maybe Chris Tanev you could think about moving, but I don't really see a lot of quality to be able to move around here.
Well, they're not selling; they're buying.
Yeah, maybe Antoine Roussel back from injury. I know they're buying, but you gotta be able to meet the value of a player.
They need another fourth line center or a third line center. I think Jay Beagle's got to go. He's just not good enough.
I don't like that fourth line at all.
Yeah.
With Louis Eriksson, Jay Beagle, and Tim Schaller. Louis Eriksson, I've made fun of him before on the podcast.
Not good. He's not good.
Let's talk about the Louis Eriksson straight up for Tyler Seguin trade. From how long ago? That's a long time ago now, but
yeah.
That was a bad trade.
That's up there with the Hall for Larson. That's up there.
That's up there with Hall straight up for Larson. I always remember the Bob McKenzie tweet. Taylor Hall or Adam Larson straight up. Yeah, I like the team. With even the fourth. The fourth line is obviously your worst line, and that's the case here. I'm a fan of the first three forward lines. I'm a little bit of a fan of the D-core.
I really like Quinn Hughes.
And those are two good goalies to rotate. And
yeah.
that comes big when you're playing a long season in the NHL. I'll bring back to the Leafs again. Whenever Michael Hutchinson has to play, you're going to lose because he's an AHL caliber goalie. So I like Vancouver. I think we've exhausted this enough. I like Vancouver. They're the real deal. They surprised me this year. This is going to be a threat in years to come. I just don't see them winning the Stanley Cup this year, nor do I see them getting to the Stanley Cup.
Well, you could argue that Boston is a better team, but I'm giving Vancouver, at least conference finals, probably still Stanley Cup finals.
That's bold. That is bold.
Yeah.
Well, but we'll see if that pays off. Last two games haven't been tremendous.
No.
4-1 loss to Winnipeg and a 5-2 loss to Chicago. That's not very good. But 2 games, that's not a big deal. They play next against the Devils.
That should be
at the time of recording. I'm not sure when this is going to get posted, but obviously that's a win. It's
got to be.
Should be a win. The Devils are playing right now. Jesus Christ. But that'll wrap it up from me and Jack. Thank you for listening to another episode. We'll see you again soon for some more daily content.